I'm Whitney Pitalo, and I'm a CFC alumni. I got started at CFC about the age of 5 or 6, and I had been in the foster care system a few years before that. I showed up to the fields my first day with my foster mom, who is now my wonderful mother, Jeanette Pitalo, and I just remember loving the energy. There was games going on every field. I was watching my sisters play, and I just instantly knew that this was an environment that I had to be a part of. I remember it being honestly the first day that I remember just having an immense amount of joy. You have to know I was a very hyperactive and energetic child, and so this was the first time that I felt like something in my life matched my energy. So when I asked my mom to play, she signed me up for the next season, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm still friends with some of those players on my first team, and some of those players ended up being on my first competitive team at CFC. That was really life-changing for me. I had an outlet for my energy. I had a place to build relationships. I had a place to build friendships. And when I went off to school, elementary, middle, and high school, I had a group of friends at whatever school I was at. And if I had gone to any other school, I would have had friends because me and all my teammates were spread out across the city. So it was really a special experience, and I got to be connected in a way that I wouldn't have been if I hadn't started playing at CFC. That team that I started on, my first team was huge. And then my first competitive team, I mean, the coach was like my second dad, and my teammates were like my sisters. I mean, even to this day, some of those players are my best friends, and everybody I think of fondly. I've been to weddings, baby showers, birthday parties, holidays. I mean, we still celebrate some of these big life moments together, and a lot of those girls are people that I talk to on a daily basis. I think even behind me, you can see some pictures of them. They're some of my best friends, and I'm so grateful that CFC brought those people into my life. What I enjoyed most about playing, besides it being a physical outlet for me and all of my energy, I loved the team environment. I loved having friends. I loved having like-minded people around me. I really learned to love discipline as well. Delayed gratification, working hard for something, and then working through it until you achieved it. Because things like juggling, new skills, shooting, things like that, you don't just show up and you're great at it. It's something you have to work at. And I think learning to fall in love with that process, like what it's like to fail at something over and over again, but you have the joy of what it's like when that connection is made, and that skill is developed. I think for me, that's something that I love about the game of soccer, and something that I nurtured and developed at CFC. At CFC, my relationships with my coaches and with my teammates were always really great. I had really amazing experiences, and I look back at my days at CFC really fondly. And I smile thinking about other people and their relationships that they're building at CFC right now, and the lifelong friends they're growing right now, and the families that are being connected that otherwise would never be connected. That's what I love about the CFC environment. CFC is more than a soccer club to me because I'm not sure what CFC didn't give me as a child. I learned so many life lessons with a ball at my feet and at the hands of my coaches and my teammates. Went through a lot of tough moments, but a lot of the moments that I remember and I hold dear to me are a lot of those incredible moments, like winning a state championship in 2008. The little moments driving to games in my parents' 15-passenger van with like half the squad in my car. If we were late, half the team was late. But like getting our cleats on and our shin guards together and sitting under the small amount of shade at the waterfront tournament at CFC, which is now the Capital Cup. I mean, they're just these little memories that they don't leave you because they're small, but they're hugely impactful on your life. I remember most of my life remembering like what the score of almost every game I ever played was. I mean, I was highly competitive, and I just loved CFC. I just loved the environment that it created for me and for my friends and my family. It was truly a family-oriented place where everyone could go to feel comfortable and feel like they belong. CFC really prepared me for my future because of the lessons that I learned through sports, but also it helped me achieve my dreams. When I was a kid, I remember being at soccer practice, like just already thinking of these lofty dreams of playing collegiate soccer, of having professional national team experience. Like I remember just growing those dreams like in the middle of a training session. Like I remember sitting there and I remember seeing older kids being able to like touch a ball like however they want, and I'm just like 6 years old and I'm like, man, someday I want to be able to move a ball with ease. I don't want to have to think and try super hard. And all those things came true. I mean, now I can mess with the ball as much as I want. I have so much fun with it. I developed it only a few years after wanting to achieve that goal. I achieved my goal of getting recruited to play at USC, which was my dream school. I got invited to national pool camps here in Oregon and in Florida. I got to play with the Portland Thorns as a collegiate practice player. So I achieved a lot of my dreams, and I attribute a lot of that success to my time at CFC. Because without it, I wouldn't have a foundation of skill and I wouldn't have been able to develop into the player and the person that I am today. What I'd want the community to know about CFC is that you aren't just developing soccer skills and individual skills that are going to help you in your life. You're developing a community and a network around you that's there to support you. We know that with disadvantaged and children with high needs, that all they need is that one person or that small group of people to believe in them and to be there for them and support them. And I think for me, when I was a kid, CFC was that place for me. CFC was that place where I had my coach or my teammates that I could rely on, that I could trust, that I could confide in. And I think that allowed me to be able to dream big dreams and to not think that anything was impossible. I think I was able to grow as a person and as a player, and the sky was the limit for me at a very young age. I didn't feel limited. I felt like I always had a home base, that I could always reach out and go for something that I felt was lofty or something that was a little far-fetched, but it's something that I dreamed about. I knew that I had a place to always come back to and that I'd always be supported, and I think that every child deserves that, and I think that's something that CFC provides. And not only, I knew all of my CFC families, all the parents on the sidelines loved hanging out together and cheering us on, and all the team events we did together. I know how much fun the parents had at those. So it's not just for the kids, it's for the parents. It's a family affair. I think that when you grow up as a CFC family, I mean, you grow up with a lot of other families, and it's just a tight-knit, woven community, and it's something that you really can't replace. So I'm so lucky for my time at CFC.